Welcome to the Footy Show here on Patreon. You just missed Ped singing and eating a pot noodle.
Alexander O'Neill's not a pot noodle. Let's get it right. It was an Aldi.
What was it?
It was an Aldi.
Oh yeah, it wasn't a pot noodle.
It was an Aldi. Asian-inspired Chinese chow mein egg noodles.
Yeah,
it was
so
nice.
I apologise because it wasn't a pot noodle.
No, it was nice. It was only 65 pence. Lovely. Nice little snack to eat for the day.
Qualify with the price. That's just,
well, you know,
just in case people think how much.
Others are available. Nice little snacks to get you through your day. Pep you up a little bit.
Yeah, well, you needed it.
Do you think?
You've been lower than.
I feel like I've had a bit of a chemical imbalance today.
I do like you've been a bit weird today.
Weird's not the right word. Just
not yourself.
Just lacking something. Don't know what it is. Not sleep. I had loads of sleep.
That's probably it.
It wasn't sleep though, but I haven't had too much sleep. But I don't know. Can't quite put my
All right, well, it's
some
fine.
days I feel like that.
Some
days I just feel like that.
Yeah, obviously you maybe your hormones just dipped a little.
I think it might be my hormones. I don't know.
Dipped a little bit. We'll get them back up. Anyway, let's get into this footy malarkey. VAR has been approved.
Yeah! No, working girl, you find that she's got the real job at the end, and she's like,
what's in that pot noodle? That isn't a pot noodle. I apologise for you if you're listening to the podcast version of this.
Continue.
It might not make the edit. That.
It will.
Yeah, so VAR, it's been approved. It's coming in for next season. I know you wanted it in after 19 games this season.
I'll take this.
But it's coming in next season. And the sooner the better.
Well, it's next season, so you know what I mean? That is soon though.
Yeah.
And it's better.
It is better. It's better than what we currently have. Much
referees.
Much needed, isn't it? Much needed change.
Yeah. It's important step. You can't. It's there for everyone to see. That it's how much it's needed. We've done this to death. It's not like a revolution. It's not a revolution that VAR's sorry, it's that Charmaine repeating on me. That VAR's coming in because everywhere else has got it. You know what I mean? So it's not even a revolution. It's not even like when they brought goal line technology in. I think what's almost done it is that the refs have been that bad this season that probably even the most sceptical of people have just gone, yeah, we need that.
We've had Keith Hackett today on social media saying how bad the referees are. Former referee, obviously, saying that he was calling for it before. Oh, never go full.
Getting mowed up. Sherman mowed up.
He went. He was saying he wanted it in before the season started, and it's been justified since because the performances of the referees, he said, they're pathetic. They're getting worse, and they are. And I don't know whether it's a mixture of the referees aren't good enough. That's blatantly obvious. Some of them aren't fit enough. Again, it's blatantly obvious. And I think the game is so fast that even if you had fit referees, it'd be difficult to keep up with how quick the game is. You've got 22 athletes running around the pitch, fit, mostly athletes.
Well, I was going to say 20 athletes. Goalies don't run around that much.
Well, Pickford, you do. And if you're Manuel Neuer, you do. You're basically the halfway line all game. Okay, you've got 20 athletes running around, sprinting, covering distances quickly. The game's so fast that even me, and I'm the harshest critic of referees, as you will all know by now, accepts that at times it's impossible for them to keep up with the play when you see that the late 40s, early 50s year old men.
Yeah.
So anything that helps them can only improve the game, and it's in £1 billion industry, which is what football is. You can't have a 52, 53-year-old fella who isn't, let's be honest, not like Roberto Mancini, is he? Them referees, they're not like ripped and in proper shape. They're little fat things that look like they have a pint of bitter at the end of the bar and eat pork scratchings for the dinner.
Yeah, but the thing is, it's not even it's not even referees who can't keep up, it's linesmen, and linesmen have only got one half of the pitch in a straight line, and they can't keep up with it. It's not just the players, it's the ball. It's faster now, it moves faster, it travels faster through the air, the pitch is faster, so the ball moves often quicker, everything is faster. Athletes, you know, players in their peak, you know, 25-year-old athletes running around the pitch, like you said, they are real thoroughbred, fit as they can be sportsmen now. And the problem is with the refs is that they can't get any fitter. The only way you can get them fitter is if they were the same age, and then you're sacrificing the experience, and you can't get that experience. It's as simple as that. So,
but can you though with VAR? So
what,
can
like,
you now
to just get loads of kids?
Well, not kids, so to speak, but can you like fast track younger lads now, so get them, make it a proper career? So
well, no, because the only way you could do that is if they work, for me, and this is that they'd have to be working in a VAR environment from the start, wouldn't they? So that means that you'd have to have VAR at all levels, and I just don't think that can happen. It's not going to happen, is it? So you still, for me, I think referees are still massively important, and I think what can happen is, and I think we've seen a little bit of this in the World Cup, is that referees will have to, or should allow themselves to hand over some of that experience, some of that responsibility to the VAR, and not. So we've seen it in the World Cup, and I think we've seen it last year a little bit, where referees weren't making decisions because they wanted to see how it played out, and then maybe see. So there's a lot of like offside decisions that weren't given, I think, in the World Cup, because the referee just wanted to see how it, wanted to see how it was played out, so that it didn't call. So I think that what that'll lead to is a lot more things like advantage being played, and that will make the game flow better overall. And then if he needs to call it back, he can call it back, because I think people will get in the habit of, referees, players and fans will get in the habit of the game being in play a lot more, and then it just being like, oh, you've had. So instead of the ref blowing the whistle, it's almost like the VAR blowing the whistle, and I think that could help once we get down the road. That won't happen straight away, of course it won't, but I think that will be something that this will lead to. I think that will mean the ball will be in play more, the games will be faster, they won't be able to be broke up as much. I think that's all going to help the game of football.
I think the problem, I think you're right, that the respect there's got to be there for a party of referees, so where the VAR are included with the lines and with the referee as well, so they are a team, so that it's quite linear the way you look at it. You've got the VAR there, ease on if they just go penalty. Don't want to see anything like Liverpool West Brom last year or the year before in the FA Cup, where it was ages before they made a decision, and it was just ridiculous. You need it to be almost, because we see it as spectators watching it on the telly, that replay is up within seconds. You see it, so you can see it 3 or 4 times in a 10 or 15 second period. That isn't long. So that game, there's no reason for the game to be, for those replays not to be up and then to just go to the referee. That's a penalty. If you looked at it from 2 angles, it's a penalty. Or that isn't a penalty, he didn't touch him. Kicked his own foot, like Sterling last week, and Matic the other night for Serbia, kicked the floor.
It's very few and far between now that we get decisions that people go, I've looked at that 3 or 4 times and I still can't make a decision on that. That doesn't happen very often now because of all the cameras that are available to people. And I think the other thing we've got to do is we've got to have patience in the system and understand that it isn't a robot making a decision. It's not it's not like goal line technology where it's yes or no. The referee will still have to make a decision.
What a man's the game.
Now, I think what needs to be brought in at the same time is, and I think it will obviously, is some interpretation of the laws need to be less grey areas. So a lot more laws. So handball is obviously the biggest one. That needs to be black or white. Right? And I think that's what's happening, because they're taking deliberate handball out the equation. So from now on, it won't be deliberate handball. Hopefully, this is the rule that they're looking to change. It will be essentially, well, where did the ball hit the hand? What position was the hand in? Was the hand there? Okay, well, I'm not deliberately put my hand up, let's say, but it's hit it, and that's affected so like the one in the World Cup, the penalty for France. A lot of people said, well, how can that be deliberate handball? But on the continent, deliberate handball is not necessarily seen as a, oh, I'm going to handball this. They see it almost as like a body reaction, like your body deliberately did that, like as a reflex. And by removing the word deliberate, we get a much clearer look at it. So if you got your hands by the side and they stayed in, the ball hits them, then that's not deliberate. You're deliberately trying to make sure the ball doesn't hit you. But if you've got your hand up there, your body's almost reacting to where that ball's going.
What about if it changes the way the line of the ball?
Well, yeah.
So if it's going.
But that's what I'm saying. That's why.
What about my hands are here?
No,
I have my hand out on the
that's why they're getting rid of the word deliberate, aren't they? Because they have to look at that. But I can't. Your hands are part of your body.
See, I think if you go like that, right, I don't think that's, and I'm one for saying if it hits your hand, it's a penalty, so it's all removed. But I think if you go like that and your hands are tucked into your body, so there's no extra shape outside your body, then I think that shouldn't be handball. If you go like that and look at it and push it, as if like, yeah, do you know what I mean? But if you literally go like that and it hits your hand, because you've seen penalties given for that. But I think if you're stood like that,
well, like that, jazz hands.
Yeah.
Yeah, but okay, fine. But let's get that sorted.
Yeah.
Let's know what is handball and what isn't.
Yeah.
So if they go into every club before the season and go, listen, lads, if you've got your hands by your sides and it hits them, we're not going to give a penalty. But if you've got your hands somewhere there,
or out,
and even if you're doing that, it's a penalty. Or out, it's a penalty.
You see that one sometimes, don't you, where they're trying to charge your ball down.
We got one, didn't we, Ashley Williams, Crystal Palace, 2 years, the season before last, something this year, but season. Let's just...
Last season.
Yeah, this year, last season. Let's just make sure that we know what the rules are, so there's no... It is just black and white, and there's no grey areas. And if you eliminate the grey areas, football is so much easier.
And the other thing is, because I've heard that, you know, when people go, well, hang on a sec, I've seen something the other day with 4 replays and they still couldn't decide, right? So if that happens with VAR, fine.
Yeah.
Say to the referee, we've looked at it 5 times, we can't decide, so don't give it. Because what rules are in football, well, it could be any kind of rules, but just use football. You make that decision based on you're sure. You shouldn't book a player if you're not sure it was that player or you're not sure it was a foul. You shouldn't give a penalty unless you're sure it was a penalty. So why doesn't that apply then? If you look at a replay 5 times, right, and VAR go to the ref, like, you're Ped, I'm not sure, you can't give it. You just go, right, carry on.
Yeah.
The same as anything.
That's it, isn't it? And what that's got to do is, of course, we've got this thing where it's like, you know, you only check it if it's a goal, game changing thing. Yeah. So if there's no reason to make the decision, then you can't. That will happen. And you've only got to. Again, it's about everyone knowing though beforehand. If we all know, if we all say that either the referee's only got a certain amount of time, or he's only got 2 options, or whatever, then that makes it. That's what I'm saying. The mad thing about this VAR coming in is decisions have been made difficult for the referee, because the referee has only had has had like 3 options when really he should only have 2 and things like that. That handball one's the biggest one. When they all go, well, it's a different thing. Well, yeah, because the law allows it to be a different thing, and there's so many laws like that in football that are open to interpretation. They shouldn't be allowed to be open to interpretation. It should be one or the other.
The offside's the same.
Yeah.
The offside for me, the Mane one, because that's in the 10th thing. Mane runs towards the ball, and he's offside. Once it plays on, he's not offside, but he motions towards the ball.
The problem with offside is that the referee has to factor when a new passage of play begins and one ends, and that only he can do that. The only way you can ever do that would to have loads of lines on the pitch and be like, well, he came back into quadrant 2 and then moves it back.
That's what they wanted, didn't he, years ago?
But I suppose
wanted another line.
I suppose in a way you could do that in VAR. You could have virtual lines on the VAR screen. I suppose you could do that, and I know they do in some. I've seen pictures where they do, so that's the way you could do that. But just simplify the rules a little bit and just stop making it so complicated for the refs in some things. But obviously there's other things. I think the Martial penalty against us is like the perfect example of where VAR would work so well. The referee looks at it, thinks he's made a decision because of the things that happen. He sees the ball. He sees the ball move forward after Garner's coming from the side. So his mind tells him that the only reason that ball could have gone forward, and he hasn't been able to bring that other thing in, because that's not like a football thing. Well, I've got to make that decision. Where VAR would just go, no, this is what happened. We've cleared it up for you. That
corner.
Yeah. Well, that's a dive. Free kick to Everton. Martial booked. Simple as that.
Do you think that would have happened?
That's what should have happened.
I think they'd give a corner because.
Why would they give a corner?
Because
it came off Martial last.
Did he kick it against him? I thought Garner.
No.
I remember Garner opened the ball.
No, Martial. It bounces off Martial's leg, and
that's why it looks.
And that's why it goes forward. So it's a goal kick at the very least.
I think it wouldn't have been booked because I think.
All right. Well, if he's not.
I think they'd have said that the contract has caused them to go. Not foul. It's not a foul. He did that, but I just think. But anyway, yeah, you're right. That would have cleared that up. And you've seen other ones. You've seen Southampton, their Watford game, which, funnily enough, Charlie Austin's rant has pushed this further on. Watford should have had the penalty. It was a penalty, and Southampton should have had the second goal. And Austin coming out and having a go, he was right to do so because.
And he hasn't been punished for it.
No, well, because he did, like you said last week, he didn't. The key thing is he didn't blame the referee. He blamed the fact we haven't got VAR to help the referee. So I think it's a really good thing, and I think people will get used to it. The more we use it, it'll come in, and it will stop you in them moments going, okay, it obviously wasn't clear then. I think that's a penalty. They've looked at it again.
Just get the ground rules down. Also, it's got to be uniformed. So if you review it, I'd be interested to know whether it's going to go on the big screen. They're going to show whatever show what they're seeing on a big. I know the only problem with that is obviously not every ground has a big screen, and
they might feel like they don't need to do.
Well, that. They don't. I mean, we had it against Southampton in the League Cup, and like you said a couple of weeks ago, we didn't see the replay, but you just had to put your trust in the referee that he'd looked at it. At some point. You have to say, and I think this is the most important thing.
Well, in that game, he didn't look at it, did he? Look at anything?
No.
It just said he's getting reviewed. That's how it is exactly.
But
how it needs.
That's what I'm saying. What I'm saying is that the referee we have to, as fans, always say. Or come down on the side, just like the technology for goal line technology. You have to just put your trust in them. We don't have trust in the moment because of those factors, like we mentioned before. We have to say VAR restores our trust, and then we go from there.
I don't believe that, and people will believe it, but I don't believe in the integrity of them because I don't believe in the integrity of the Premier League. Therefore. I think that what VAR will do is
restore it.
It'll reduce the opportunity to shape the way games.
See, this has been my argument because people have said, "Oh, you can't. No point bringing VAR in because it'll just be again the top 6, or will be for the top 6." And my argument is, well, what this does is it makes it black and white, and if a referee gets decisions wrong or hasn't reviewed it, then they're out the door.
Gone.
Because this is our chance as fans to go, whoa, hang on. You had 2 opportunities, not just 1, and you never took that opportunity, and therefore, and then so that, and also it gets rid of all our other shite, like the diving and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Or anything that's looked at on a Monday morning that's never looked at on a Monday morning. 3 fellas turn up and go on the aisle.
Well, it's like the Bernard Rudiger thing last week, isn't it? Now, okay, the referee dealt with that, and I had no issue with what he did, booking the pair of them, right? Yeah. People were going, well, Rudiger comes out and going, well, Bernard should have been sent off because he buttered me, which he didn't. But Rudiger would have been sent off because he slapped him, which he did, which caused it. But VAR would look at that and just, you know, because that referee could have quite easily turned around and gone, he's down on the floor and you're there, right, red card, without even thinking about it. So you'd have to give the referee credit that day because he didn't do that. Now, he might have taken it from Marinette, might have gone, they've just come together, it's handbags, fair enough. But VAR can tell them that because you've seen it in other games.
It's going to make it, I think it could potentially, I'm not saying it will, but it could also cut out a lot of nonsense in football.
It could, yeah. Well, because they're going to get seen.
Because they're going to get seen even more now.
Zaha might actually stay up.
There's going to be more implications for what you do on a football pitch at the time, not afterwards.
Yeah. We don't need it afterwards, do you?
No.
Afterwards doesn't benefit anybody, does it? No. You know, like the last year when they done the ass, that didn't benefit Crystal Palace.
No. Well, it went against him because of the teams he was missing.
He was missing against other teams who he might have scored goals against and affected it. So you're right, it doesn't benefit the team who were punished at the time, and that's what happens, you know. And who's to say last week at Chelsea, Jorginho probably would have been red carded for that challenge. So Everton might have gone on and won the game. So who knows? You know, it is what it is. But it's good, and I'm glad it's coming in. Just very quickly on this one, UEFA, their chief has said the Super League will never happen. There'll be no talks. The key thing he put in it was, though, he said there's been no talks that I'm aware of. I was like,
yeah, because they all did it in a cafe somewhere.
And they're not going to include you, are they, when they want to break out? But he reckons there's got no chance of it ever happening. It's pie in the sky and all that. And we had John Blaine in yesterday, and he doesn't think there's any.
I don't think it is, because I think personally there's too many sanctions that could happen that could affect the teams and the players, most importantly the players. So
be interesting to see, though, isn't it? But Creed doesn't.
But it could lead to reform of UEFA.
Well, UEFA are saying they're already looking at Champions League, what to do with that. And they're going to bring another European trophy back, aren't they? The Cup Winners' Cup's coming back. Whatever it's going to be.
I think they should, and I've said that for a while, because I just think there's too many teams in the Europa League. And I think that, and as we know, it scares teams off who are good teams. There's good teams in the Europa League, but it scares them into playing good players in it, or they rotate, and that means you just get this fatigue factor. And
UEFA could help that.
That's what I'm saying.
They could help it by dumping Champions League teams in it.
Yeah.
I know you can say, yeah, but that's for the sponsor. Well, no, don't. There's enough money sloshing around. Make the prize money bigger. When you get knocked out of the Champions League, you're out. End of story. You're gone, and that's the way it is. And then have a third cup competition and throw money at that. And then the teams will
remove the fatigue factor. Make all 3 tournaments the same in size, and just have it like a 3 tiers of European football, and have it very, very similar. One's the Champions League, one's the Europa League, and one's
the Cup Winners' Cup. That's what it's going to be.
You know, and say to the winners as well, well, if you win, you go in the next tournament. And
that'll be good.
I mean, I know we're going to talk about the Nations League, but the Nations League is actually a really good sort of way of doing things. It's you're straight away saying, well, there's a hierarchy. We know that. But that help. I mean, you know, you look at these teams and they get into that, and maybe some of the Champions League teams, I just think Everton would beat half of them. But then the other half, they wouldn't. Of course they wouldn't. But some of them, you just go, we'd beat them, we'd beat them, we'd beat them. Our Europa League group last season was harder than Liverpool's Champions League group.
Yeah.
It was.
Yeah. Well,
There's no argument, it was. But you look at that and go, and I'm not saying every club, every country doesn't have a right to the teams, but it's just that you just make it so that teams are playing some maybe of their own standard, so that you get to play teams. If you get teams and you get better than them, you get better. No one's ever got better by getting beat 8-0 every time. You know, which you see with some of these nations, not necessarily club sides.
Well, no, because they don't play the same way. Because it becomes
backs to the wall.
It becomes a reduce, keep it down. You know, collateral damage kind of thing. Really, of like, you know, damage limitation. Don't get hammered. You don't learn anything from it. You're just kicking the butt. You know, Sam Allardyce style, innit? Spurs at Wembley last year and Arsenal at the Emirates, we got, you know, 9-1 over those 2 games. We didn't learn a thing.
So that's what I'd do. I'd make three trophies. One's the
whack money into all of them. No, big prize money.
One's the very best.
One's the top.
One's next one, and one's the next one.
And you, like you say, it's a prize if you go in that, and that's the way it is. You just mentioned the UEFA Nations League. Let's go on to that, because England have had a good result at the weekend, beating Croatia. Obviously beat USA 3-0 last week. Wayne Rooney come on in that in a friendly. I thought that went well, and he played very well by all accounts in that game, and he come on, and obviously there was goal for Callum Wilson, which is, you know, he's been doing really well, and I think that's what Gareth Southgate's done well. The introduction of these players who he may not have got a go. Well, he probably wouldn't have got a go under the likes of Capello or people like that, whereas even Hodgson. Whereas Southgate has, you know, the other day we seen Jordan Sancho and, you know, these kind of players. Joe Gomez in there, Michael Keane has been in, Lewis Dunk's been in. So a lot of lads who he's using quite well. He's using his squad and having a look at all of them. And when you look at that England side, certainly the one on Sunday, you know, your Pickford in goal, you know, Gomez, Stones, Trent Alexander-Arnold, you know, all of these younger lads involved in it. Sancho, like you said, and then you've got that mix with the likes of Harry Kane and people like Dele Alli and, you know, Raheem Sterling. There's a real good mix of players now, and I think the manager, I think Southgate deserves massive credit for the way. Now, I was one when he got it. He was just like ex-Middlesbrough, wow, you know, ex-under-21 manager, wow, you know, and because I'm just not enthused by the England squad anyway in general. But since he's took over, I have got a little bit, I mean, I didn't watch the game the other day, but I have got a little bit more interest in it. And I just think he's sound, and I think the way he's doing things and the way that the players seem to be around him seems to be rubbing off on everyone.
Yeah. Now, do you know what I think? What's interesting is that there's a few new players in that team as well from the World Cup, so he hasn't rested on his laurels from the World Cup. He's give opportunities to people. Obviously brought Gomez back into it. He's brought Barkley into the midfield.
Yeah. Delph.
He's brought Delph. He's brought the kid from Leicester, the left back,
Ben Chilwell.
Chilwell. He's brought him in, and he's just mixed it about a bit. And then he's, you know, it's interesting because obviously there hasn't been that many friendlies. So the other night he used that as an opportunity to bring a few more players into the squad and have a little look at them. You know, the likes of Michael Keane back in form, he give him a run out, and he's looking at them all, and it's you know,
and keeping them involved,
keeping them all involved, keeping people seem to be happy, and you know, everything seems to just be getting fine tuned. And obviously they won that game; they were getting beaten in. Ironically, they won from a long throw and a set piece,
which Sam Allardyce criticised, which is hilarious.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair though, you know, some games you'd like to see a little bit more. But look at the Spain game; they went and scored 3 really good goals in that. So,
well, Croatia beat Spain the other night, didn't it?
3-2. So it's a good, you know, it was a good win, and it seemed to catch the imagination of the fans as well. People weren't treating it like it was, you know, glove.
And the players, more importantly.
Yeah, because I think if you say to players, the professionals, if you lay it in front of them and say, if you treat it like it's an important thing, then it will be an important thing. If the players, the manager says to the players, this is something to go and win. Yeah. This is a trophy to go and win. I know it's its first year and stuff, and people are sort of getting their heads around it. But I think now we're getting to that. We've got to that point, the end game of it, where I mean, it was funny because England could have been relegated if they'd lost, and by winning, got through to the finals next year. So it was that's what gives it that double jeopardy. No one wanted to be relegated, did they? Croatia didn't want to be relegated, but they knew they could also win. They give it that little bit of a double jeopardy. Every game means something then, practically.
Well, listen, you know, it is a head scratcher with some of the rules of it. By rules of it, I mean the permutations of what happens.
In what way?
Well, just with the relegation and stuff. So what's happening with there was journalists talking about the winners of this automatically qualify for the European
I don't think that's.
So why are journalists saying?
Because journalists don't know deadly about dick.
But apparently you don't, because you're not saying it is.
I'm just keeping my options open.
But it's what it's done.
But that's not the point. The point isn't. The point of the tournament isn't about qualifying for another tournament.
It's just winning.
It's its own self tournament. I believe there are. I can't sit here saying I know all the permutations, but there are permutations. If people win their groups, then they
get promoted.
You get promoted anyway. You have basically you have 4 groups in each league.
Yeah.
Right. The 4 winners of the top 4 groups have gone. Now we're into the championships. Now, okay, there's only so many teams that could do that but it's the first year. So the teams have been relegated. So Germany have been relegated. They go down. You know, teams have been promoted. You know, so it's about all the minor teams. Well, the best ones gone up a level now. Teams that maybe shouldn't. Iceland, maybe they've peaked. They peaked in the World Cup. They went down. So now they'll find their feet. So the next one might be a little bit a better mix, or the one after that might be a better mix. It's whoever's in form at the time.
Course, yeah.
You know, so
well, we've got the semi-finalists: England, Holland, Portugal, and Switzerland.
Yeah,
it's in Portugal. Isn't it? The game. So the 2 semis.
Yeah,
and then obviously a final for a trophy. So you know, an opportunity for England next summer to win a trophy. The only thing that'll complicate it is the Champions League is right on top of it. Champions League final, so dependent on who gets there. But
well, I mean, it's
the way it is, isn't it?
Listen, this is if anyone's like moaning about too many games, that week always has games.
Yeah.
It always has qualifiers in. Don't forget now, because of what UEFA have done very cleverly by putting more teams into the Euros. They've reduced almost the need for some qualifiers. So it's created space as well as the friendlies for this tournament. And I think people who like international football, they've welcomed this, because what is going to happen is UEFA and FIFA are looking for more opportunities to create money.
Of course, yeah.
So because you know they understand.
And centralising this sponsorship, like we talked about the Champions League and everything.
But it is what it is. You know, England.
It's a good opportunity though, isn't it? I mean, we've seen Holland resurgence under Ronald Koeman. Which is fair play.
What's good about this is certainly now is that the UEFA Championship qualifying starts in March.
Yeah.
Right. So Holland now will go into that buoyed because they've seen an upturn, but they've seen an upturn because they've been playing competitive games, but without a risk factor, if that makes any sense. There's no real.
You're not losing points. So if you don't get through,
So you pick someone like Wales, who I think they finished second in their group. So they got to bed in loads of players and learned the style in competitive games. So when they go to qualify for the Euros, now they'll go in and go, well, we know how this manager likes, and they do it going, and then that's real jeopardy, because that is the tournament. That's trying to qualify for the tournament, and that doesn't make this any less. It's just that you got to ask yourself, what would you rather have, friendlies or and I think actually. And some people might disagree. I know everyone goes, oh, there's no footy for a couple of weeks. But at least, you know, the footy started, Thursday night? And it's now Tuesday. And there's still games tonight. So you've got the whole long weekend of games.
It's not the same.
I know it's not the same, but I like it. I don't mind a break from the Premier League anymore. I just think at times it gets a little bit too much.
Oh, I like the break when we're playing crap. When we're playing well.
I don't mind. Good teams can play no matter what. So at least there's loads of games, and at least they're a competitive nature, rather than going on another friendly. God, this will be crap. Going to see 87 players play tonight. So I don't mind it.
It's doing well. I mean, like you say, England, Holland, Holland were 2-0 down, and Germany were going through to the finals. It looked like, didn't he, with Werner scored a crack of speed of him, and then Sané made it 2-0, and 6 minutes left, it was 2-0, and Koeman put Van Dijk up front. Quality. And then he scored a cracker to get back in it, make it 2-1. And then Van Dijk in the last minute with it. It was a good goal, actually, a good volley, make it 2-2.
I think some of the teams who have won the groups, I think, haven't they've qualified for a playoff game. Things like that. So they've got a playoff no matter what. So when they go at the end of it and they say, right, for the Euros, they've got a playoff space. So it hasn't got them automatically in, but it's got them a playoff space. So they have won something from it.
Okay.
So that's good for them.
So them 4 have won something already.
No, not them 4. The lower teams. The lower teams.
Yeah.
Educate yourself. You're the host of a show.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Know your facts before you come on.
Yeah. Well, you
can't get the
you
stats.
Quite clearly don't know them. You know them a bit more than me, but you still don't know them.
You dropped it on me.
Go on. We've been talking about this Nations League since we were doing Knowsley KCC Radio in 2012.
Didn't mean I needed to know the rules, did it? You might. And then some kind of administrator for you.
Yeah.
Sort yourself out.
PFA Chief Executive Gordon Taylor under immense pressure to quit. Should have quit a while ago, in all fairness. He's been criticising the chairman, who's Ben Perkins, because he's got a non-contract with Walsall at the moment, which basically he's registered to play for them, but it's not a contract as such, and he doesn't like the way he's doing things. So apparently it's come out in an investigation that he hasn't been up for election for 40 years.
Okay.
So, which goes against everything of a trade union description.
Will do,
because that's essentially what this is, a trade union.
Yeah, it is.
So he's somehow done that. His wages have gone up. He's on £2.29 million per year.
Sound.
Which is all right if you can get it. Yeah. But there's a lot of support now for Ben Perkins, and 300 players that have signed it now to get rid of Taylor, basically.
Rees-Mogg, you're in the wrong industry, lad.
Yeah, there you go. And Jeff Astel's daughter is obviously, because she feels as though nothing that was done, really. That's
the main thing, isn't it? You know, we both watched the Jeff Astel documentary. Player who died prematurely from what they believe is head injuries because of heading that ball so much, and she got all the evidence and took it to him, and he was just like, do you want me to do about it? And you're like, well, put some,
actually do
something, put some money into a study, and he was just, and like you just mentioned there, this is a man who earns a vast amount of money a year, and benefits, almost, he is benefited, and I know he'll say it's because of the PFA that players are on so much, but he benefits amazingly from the PFA.
Well, he took his first wages was something like, I don't know, but one of the early ones it was like 600 grand, and then it was 1.2 million.
And that's him. That's him. He decides what his wages are.
And he negotiated, because don't forget, the reason why he got a better deal for the PFA of the Premier League, said they were going on strike. You remember he threatened the Premier League with strike action, so they paid him £8 million. Not him, paid the PFA £8 million. Now it's 25 million. The pot that goes in the Premier League into the PFA, but the Premier League are threatening to reduce that figure now because they're not sure what Gordon Taylor does. So there's a lot. So that's going to directly affect the PFA.
Well, you should have simple fact is there should be some kind of election, and if there isn't, then
well, he's got the power, so he just decides.
Well, he shouldn't have the power. Members have the power. Members should have the power. That's what. But the problem is that I would imagine to a lot of these footballers now, the PFA doesn't mean anything to them because they'll never need this assistance. What the PFA is for people who maybe fall out of the game early. Now, I mean, in the old days, it would have been there all the way through, whether someone needed assistance
or contracts and everything. If you needed help with a contract
or
a club, I mean, you'll still get people in dispute. I remember listening to Simon Jordan on that radio show in the summer, actually, when I was driving in here, and Taylor was on it, and he was talking yeah, exactly like that.
You were absolutely encapsulated by his voice.
That was very good, yeah. He was talking about, we go in and we help this, and Jordan was like, no. We had a goalkeeper, and just named him, and he said, you told him to not play while there was this dispute was going on, to don't train and to do this, and he said, if anything, you made it worse. You made the situation worse than instead of helping it. And he was like, well, that was my responsibility and all that. And you're like, oh mate, you've given, and Jordan actually said to him, you've given yourself this ridiculous power that you don't deserve. We don't know who you think you are, and blah blah blah. And it's out there. Vinnie Jones has come out and called him a dinosaur, said he's a disgrace, and the groundswell is building. He's 73 as well.
He needs to go.
Why is he?
He needs to go. Well, why would you go? I think at the end of the day, young footballers certainly, if they were released and they've paid money into the subs, then they can, they'll help them get the coaching courses, and they'll even pay for them to be retrained. Whatever, and that's good. That's what it's supposed to do.
Excellent, yeah.
But if they can't change with the times, then listen. I think.
Well, Ben Perkins is 34, so he's obviously he's a modern man. He's been in football. He's still playing games.
I think Gary Neville at one point had aspirations, didn't he? He was the shop steward at United, and I think he had aspirations at one point of being involved, and then probably they thought, well, it wasn't what he wanted to do. But it does need that sort of young, modern football ideology outlook to go into it, because again, but you will get it down the ladder where maybe footballers are earning decent money, and then suddenly the decent money stops, and what did he do with their lives? I think the big one though is it's the Jeff Astle situation. It's looking at things like that. It's putting your head in the sand and just deciding that it doesn't matter.
It's not important, yeah.
Which that's what he came across as on that. That girl was obviously so adamant that that's what her dad died from, and he wasn't prepared to even sort of approach the subject. And that's why he come across as just where people just probably thought.
And I think they've got a responsibility to grassroots football as well. I really do, because I think they should be lobbying the Premier League.
Well, they do. They should.
No, but
No. I was going to say they should do, but they don't, because it's actually got nothing to do with them.
But they should take.
No, I know. For them, it has.
No, I know.
Because they don't pay their subs.
No. I know, it's sad, but it should, because the football should be sticking together. But for me, he's definitely got to go. Definitely, because it needs a change. He shouldn't be unelected leader for 40 years because you decide that that's what it is, and then bump your wages up because you feel like paying yourself £2.2 million or 2.3 million plus bonuses, by the way. So there you go. While we're just on international football, Tim Cahill plays his final retirement game last night, didn't he? 11 and
played 5
yeah, he just come on. It was literally just it was just a farewell thing. But he was climbing, he came on the pitch, so it's how long but what a player. He's probably still their best player if he'd have just played him for half an hour. But what a career. 38, isn't he? Nearly 39. Being a fantastic.
Still playing in India, isn't he?
Still in India, but then he said, hasn't he, once that's it, he's done. And I loved him. I still love him. Loved him at Everton. Love to have him now, although I don't think he's technically probably good enough to play for Marco Silva's team, but we signed him for under £2 million, and he was fantastic, and he's been amazing. Scored in 4 World Cups for Australia. Incredible.
Played in England, America, China, Australia, India. That's in World Cups. He's just can't say enough about him, can you? He transcends the sport in Australia. He's taken it up a level, and there might have been well, there probably was better players than him when he played for Australia, but
he was the man for the big occasion.
He represented Australia like real Australian, someone who just grabbed the game and yeah, I remember watching.
Scored in 3 World Cups, not 4. Played in 4.
Sorry. I remember.
That was me, not you.
So I remember seeing his first goals for Japan in that World Cup 2006.
Yeah.
I was in Florida and I got up specially to watch it. And
Yeah,
he started on the bench, didn't he?
Yeah. Which was bizarre.
Which was bizarre, and ends up scoring twice.
Yeah.
But it just he'd been carrying a knock, hadn't he? He finished the season with a knock, and yeah, he was on the bench and scored 2 goals, and it was just unbelievable. And I think that was the moment his life sort of just changed.
Yeah. Especially in his own country, the way he was viewed in his country as well. It was like a hero.
Well, I suppose what it did was it woke up a lot of people. Woke up a lot of people to the sport in Australia, which is still not taken as seriously as other sports, which is mad. Australia's got that sort of weird chip on its shoulder, like America does, where it's like, no, these are our sports, and we're not,
it does get well supported, but it's
but it's because it's not rugby, it's not Australian
cricket,
rules, and it's not cricket, and they're all terrible sports, by the way, absolutely terrible sports.
In your opinion? I mean, I don't love them in the shows. But that's
awful sports. So yeah. So he's boss. He's brilliant. Love the man to death, and I hope that when he does finally hang up his boots, that's Everton.
Yeah.
Grab hold of him. I think he's now, his family are now settled in New York.
Yeah.
That'll be where he'll live, and hopefully Everton will take advantage of that.
Sure they will.
In some way,
some way, to do something. And just finally, I've just seen this. I've read this story before. The Rakitic, Barcelona midfielder, made a pact with Valverde, Barcelona manager, that if he didn't go to PSG in the summer, they wanted him, offered him big money. If he stayed, he had to play every game for Barcelona. And Valverde agreed to it. So he's made himself undroppable.
What Gordon Taylor have to say about that?
Ooh.
Fine.
I mean, he's a good player, but
fine. Do you know what I mean?
These players that it's undroppable. Should anybody be undroppable?
I mean, yeah, but there's a difference between being undroppable and he used the situation to his benefit, didn't he? He could be not playing for them, and decides to stay, and okay, it's not perfect. It's not a perfect scenario. But he's a player who plays most of the games anyway.
Yeah, he's a good player. He's not a top player. I was just laughing, thinking it sounds like something like Sunday League thing. Don't go to them and I'll play it every week, regardless. I said that was the last thing. It's not. We're going to finish with Daniel Sturridge, the story of Studge and all them silly hands.
Yeah.
It's come out this week that a family member bet 10 grand on him signing for Inter Milan in the summer. Which didn't happen, so 10 grand went down the Swanee. But it's been investigated, and he's been charged, hasn't he, by the FA, pending an appeal or whatever it is. So I mean, this to me is worse than players getting done for betting on games, and especially, I think we said before, especially games they're not involved in. Which is mad. Why can't they have a bet? Why couldn't he go into a betting shop and go, I'll put a tenner on West Ham to beat Fulham, say, for argument's sake?
It is worse because it's inside trade. It's you are defrauding whichever company you betted with, aren't you?
Yeah.
You are
got that information.
You've got the information.
And it's been driven by the person who it directly affects.
I don't know. I mean, it's going to come off a bit stupid because he never went. But that's worse because, listen, of course, if you're playing in a game and you put money on the game, then that's cheating. But if you
what about you view? Say you're Daniel Sturridge, right? And Liverpool are playing. If they got playing Burnley or someone at the weekend, and you put Liverpool to win. And you're playing in that game. Why is that an issue? Because you're trying to win anyway, aren't you? You're trying to affect the outcome of it positively for you. Do you know what I mean?
I do, but I do. I do find something just not right about that.
Okay. I understand betting on your team to get
I understand. Yeah.
And you start
No,
screaming it over
I just
out.
find it unprofessional. But
what about them betting on other games then? Games in other countries then that don't affect them.
But what if they've got inside information on them games?
So you agree with they're not allowed?
I don't think they should be allowed to bet on anything.
Okay.
Because I think it's certainly as a footballer, it doesn't just it opens the door to someone throwing an allegation at you.
Yeah, true.
And also
betting
and then someone going, oh, we likes a bet, we can do this and we can do that.
Yeah.
Just get rid of the opportunity.
Yeah.
And also betting, I believe Barcelona, I read something the other day, Barcelona believe Dembele's got a betting problem, apparently.
And that's why they're looking to offload him.
And that's probably why they feel as that he might be out of form or whatever. And
interesting.
If you've got a lot of money and a lot of time on your hands,
yeah.
And I know it's very easy saying, oh, well, he threw this amount of money, what difference does it make? But
it's the addiction.
Take it away from them. And I know Joey Barton likes to moan about it, but I just think that.
No, well, that's fair. I was just
get rid of it. Get rid of it.
You thingy, but yeah, but
that's inside trading. That's cheating. That is cheating. That's defrauding.
Do you think Liverpool should do more? Do you think Liverpool should come down on them hard?
I suppose the allegations got to be proven.
If it's proven, do you think they should say, like, you're up for sale? You've got to go because you breached club rules.
Been up for sale before and they couldn't get rid of him.
Yeah, true. No, it just me because he'll have breached. He won't have bleached club rules.
I don't think he might have bleached.
I mean, he might have done.
Might have gone in there with a big. But he probably would have. I don't know. Probably would have got injured doing it or something.
Well,
no, it's an interesting one. I suppose the club. See, what can clubs have loads of betting partners. Liverpool have got Beth Victor.
No, but that's one thing, isn't it? Having a betting partner, but the fact is he's
no, I know that, but
he's broken the rules.
But this is something. This is what I think. What Joey Barton was saying, wasn't it? You've got all these betting rules, yet you've got all these betting sponsors. What are we? Are we one or are we the other?
No, I get that, but I just mean it's like breaking the rules, isn't it? It's not even such with the betting thing. It's that he'll have a code of conduct that Liverpool won't he, because they all do player conduct. He's gone against it. Just wondering what Liverpool do, and that again, like I just said, that to me is more what he's done. I find a lot worse than them putting a bet on a game, a Premier League game. Having a bet is whatever, but betting, telling someone to put money on you because you're getting signed by someone, it's bizarre.
It's cheating.
But there you go. We'll have to see what happens with
it. It is cheating because at the end of the day, that is effectively inside information. It's the same as saying, I know the goalie's going to throw 2 in or something.
Yeah, exactly the
same thing.
There you go. Let us know what you think in the comments section below regarding any of the stories we've talked about. VAR, are you made up it's coming in, or do you not think it'll make any difference? The UEFA Super League will happen, yes or no? And are you a fan of the Nations League, like Pedis sits there counting the days till the next game? Incredible scenes. See you soon on The Footy Show.